Going glasses off today, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, I'm going to tell you the truth here, right? Because I feel like we're not getting it anywhere else. We're really not. You look on the news, you open the journal, you open a newspaper saying that the GDP is 4.2% or some shit like that. Some kind of ridiculous number. But they're saying the economy's doing great. It's booming. Numbers absolutely glowing. We are in a period of unprecedented growth in this country, and they're not wrong. They're not wrong. There's a lot of money in this country. It's just not in your pocket. Because they want to tell us about growth. They want to tell us about the growth of the economy. I don't care. I truly, in the bottom of my cold, black heart, don't care about the growth of the economy. Not when the average person is working 3 jobs just to survive. Not when people are sleeping in their cars behind a Joann Fabrics. I don't care about the GDP, the gross domestic product. I don't care, and neither should you. In fact, the higher that goes, while everything else is decaying around us, the angrier you should get. The higher the GDP goes, the larger the mob should be that's going to storm the fucking Capitol at some point in an actual real way, and not just a bunch of MAGA morons LARPing like they're the sons of the revolution or whatever. The GDP doesn't actually represent anything that goes on in America, really. The GDP is just a scoreboard. It doesn't actually affect us. The GDP, it's like America's watching a game of high-stakes poker, but we're outside on the sidewalk. We're not actually playing the game at all. They're eating oyster Rockefellers between hands, and we're just eating handfuls of dirt. They say the GDP is $25 trillion. Where is it? It's not in my pocket. It's not in your pocket. Here's the thing. I'm not poor, and I never claimed to be poor, right? Did I come from absolute destitute poverty? Yeah, but your boy's doing okay these days, right? But it's a grind. It's a struggle, just like it is for everyone else. So you're saying that we're breaking records here, that the GDP is $25 trillion. But like I said, is that in your pocket? Is it paying your rent? Absolutely not. It's just a fake number that people in ill-fitting suits in the DC Beltway use to justify why those people are living in their cars behind Joann Fabrics and why they should be thankful. We should be thankful because Wall Street's winning. And that's really the only thing that matters, right? America's Wall Street, and you got to root for Wall Street. Now, are they going to buy up your assets in your house and rent it to you at a price that you can't afford? Yeah, but you better smile and be thankful when they hand you that eviction notice because one of your 3 jobs cut your hours. But we're seeing record highs in the S&P 500, so it's time to celebrate. Now, the people on Wall Street are doing great. Now, the people on Main Street, now they've done everything that they can at this point just to eat. Main Street America has lost its collective shirt. It's going to lose its collective shit if things don't change in this country. People are walking around metaphorically naked when it comes to their finances. They've done everything that they can. This is the thing. You can't make Americans more productive than they're already being. You can't make people work more than 70 or 80 hours. There's got to be some kind of new labor law that limits this kind of shit. And you're going to sit here and say, well, you have to just work harder. It doesn't matter if the corporations and the government are going to collude together to continue to crank up the prices that make life inevitably impossible to live in this country. It begs the question at this point, if this entire thing that's happening right now is the planned destruction of the United States of America, if it's just slowly being dismantled in a way that the normal American person can't keep up, and eventually they're just going to have to throw up their hands or pick up a gun and just fucking go try to change things themselves because it's not changing any other way now, is it? So Main Street America has sold its shirt, it's sold its undershirt, and it's pretty much selling the skin off of its own back just to be able to afford food at the grocery store. But the brokers in the Hamptons, right, they're doing great. And that's what's important, right? You can't afford to live, but they're about to go buy their second yacht. Good for them. No, we shouldn't burn the entire country down. No, this is great. These people are doing so well at this point that they don't even just buy normal land anymore. They're not just going after your houses. They're going after digital land. But that's what it is. We're back to the days like a couple years ago where we're selling monkey pictures for millions of dollars while the average American can't afford to go into Costco and get a fucking rotisserie chicken. It's a horror show. This entire country has become a fever dream. I have to hope that at some point, collectively, we all just kind of wake up. I don't mean in kind of the annoying woke way. I mean like we literally wake up. We're all in some kind of great coma. Because this shit at this point can't be real. Or at least, if it is real, we can't take this shit for much longer. People got to do something about this. This country has become something unrecognizable. This country is essentially just a decaying Walmart. We're all living in the parking lot, waiting to go buy shit that we can't afford. That's why this year, even though there's, just as much spending on Christmas presents as there was last year, credit card usage, way up there. Returns this year, way up, because everyone bought stuff that they can't afford. So they're taking the presents that they got and returning those, and hopefully they can pay off their credit card before the interest kicks in. Everyone's just kind of playing into an illusion at this point in this country, and it's making me sick. It's making me mad. No, it's making you sick and mad too. Sick and tired of the bullshit. Sick and tired of the lies, sick and tired of the gaslighting, sick and tired of being a national disgrace constantly. This madness, right? It can't be described as anything except madness because it's so out of the norm that it makes you question whether the reality that you're in is actually reality, or if you forgot to take your meds and you're having a psychotic break. I know me over here, large man, over here at LMA Media, right? We're double dosing on our psych meds these days. It's the only thing that's keeping me out of a fucking bell tower. But the free market's a scam. This whole thing's done. And honestly, the only things that people are able to buy these days are sadness and predatory lending. But the best part, kind of the chef's kiss to this entire thing for the news cycle this week, is that while the empire is in collapse, while the people are struggling, while it takes 3 to 6 months for people to get a job that has a livable wage, if they can find that, rents are going up, interest rates still high as shit, and even though the price of homes has come down just a bit, people still can't afford them. 50% of the country can't afford rents. We'll get into that. The great panacea that has come down from some wretched ghoul that works in Washington, D.C., as he sees the cost of living crisis, that great panacea that's going to help everyone out is just, well, we're going to install Carrera marble in the Trump Kennedy Center. It hurts to say that. You got people coming out of college right now that are wondering if it was smart for them to take on $200,000 worth of student loan debt. Now that the government's calling that in, it's going to be garnishing people's wages, driving Americans even further into poverty. Lovely. At least the wealthiest people in this country are going to be able to go watch plays and shows about people living in poverty. Well, the floors are so shiny that a lobbyist can see the reflection of his soulless face in the floor that he's walking on. They're not lowering prices, right? They're not fixing things. They're not fixing bridges. They can't fix a pothole. They're not lowering the price of insulin, but they're installing new Italian marble in the Kennedy Center. Think about that. In the middle of a time where society is having a collective nervous breakdown and has no idea what's going on in the future, as the leader of the free world sits on his toilet for 8 hours straight trying to push through the 7 filet-o-fish feast that he just had through his ruined and ancient colon, while he's posting on Truth Social absolute insanity every hour, they think that, you know what the American people really need right now? You know what's going to bridge the partisan divide here in America? Some high-end, hand-carved Carrera marble. We can't have them walking on linoleum like normal people while they're going to watch Hamilton for the 6th time. No, we need that marble. We need that good Italian shit. Fetch the marble. It's an empire. It's a joke. It's a scam. Listen, this country is ran by con men. We've never had so many con men in charge in this country right now. And because of that, you cannot turn your head without being gaslit. And it's insulting. It's insulting, but at the same time, it's hilarious. You can't make this shit up because at the same time, You have people who are sleeping in the streets, sleeping under crumbling overpasses, but the floors of a performance hall got to be so sleek and shiny that the wealthy elite can look down and pick a piece of lion meat out of their teeth or whatever the fuck they eat at these events. Like I said, the entire thing isn't a real business. America's a business, but it's not a real business. The entire thing is a giant Ponzi scheme ran by people who couldn't manage a Fort Lauderdale Chili's. They're going to sit back and tell us that unemployment is low, have the gall to say that. Well, at the same time, people are working so many fucking jobs and they still can't even afford to die. I mean, people don't have time to live anymore. You get people, they're going to work at Amazon, they're going to work at Uber. In the mornings when soccer moms are outside jogging with their designer inbred dogs, they're stealing those and selling them on Craigslist just so they can afford to pay their rent. That's what full employment is to these people. It's just a Victorian workhouse with better Wi-Fi. But that's what they talk about when they say it's a robust labor market. And these people, like I said, they have the goal to sit back and talk about how Americans need to, reassess what their priorities are. But we all know what the priorities are to these people. Priority one, the numbers on the screen have to continue to go up. We have to continue to trick people to think that this is a good thing so that the top 40 people in this country can actually benefit while everyone else starves. Priority two is that the elite in Washington, D.C. have a marble floor, have the smoothest floor possible while they're talking about saving democracy. And the third priority is, how do we say, you are not a priority. And that's the thing we need to understand. There's no priority number three. There's only two. There's the enriching and then there's increasing the comfort. That's it. Everyone else, you don't matter. But that's it on this little tirade. One of a few to come out because the wife's got me in a bit of a mood. We're cooked. We're done. This country is going downhill when the installation of Italian marble is worth more than the people. The grand opening of the Kennedy Center is nothing but a funeral for the country. But hey, the GDP is doing great, and the trends on the charts are going up. And if normal people stare at the S&P 500 long enough, a house will magically appear in their backyard. That's why I'm planning my escape, and that's why I think you probably should too. And that's why we're going to start presenting other options on this channel. That's why we're getting some tickets ready for Mexico to go see that place, even though there's been so many digital nomads running around there. It's driven up the price for the locals and they hate us now. But there's still a couple places that are worth going to. We'll explore those. But until then, we sit here and wait for the inevitable demise of the United States because while at the same time the country will go to ruin, houses will start to collapse, nobody can afford to have their houses worked on. At least we're going to have a bright and shiny Kennedy Center and an Arc de Triomphe. Right? These will be the last witnesses that survive the fall of our mighty emperor. And all to the soundtrack of Hamilton coming from the White House. Good luck, everybody.